everyone, it's Margaret Manning here, and welcome to Mornings with 60 and Me. Today is Monday, it's October the 10th, so welcome. Hope you're having a great week so far. I wanted to say that today is Columbus Day in the United States, so I hope our sisters there are having a great weekend, had a great weekend and continuing into Monday. Perhaps you've got something that you're doing with your family or your friends. There might be things going on in your community or in your city, so have a great Columbus Day. Hope it's a nice day for you. And of course, our Canadian sisters had Thanksgiving over the weekend. So again, a time of the year for celebration. And I do want to say, by the way, that we have women all around the world in our community. And you've got holidays and events happening all over the place. So I want to make sure that you know that we are a global community, that we are in 150 countries. And I'm really proud of that we have women joined together, holding hands on this journey in our 60s. So just want to welcome you all here. Now, let's talk about the news and bring you up to speed on what's going on. Now, of course, the big news in the United States was the debate. Last night, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump met for the second time in a town hall forum where people from the public got to ask their questions. And it was a really interesting event. I think the body language kind of said it all, which is as they started, Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump did not shake hands. They got right into the conversation, and to be honest, they disagreed on just about every policy point. The conversation got very personal, it got emotional, and actually quite difficult sometimes. So this is a tough election, and I'm sure that you've all got each individual views about it. So I'll let you go to your local channels and get up to speed on the exact words that were used. But at the end, they did ask both of them to say one thing that they respected about each other. And Donald Trump said that he respected Hillary Clinton as a fighter. She didn't give up. And she said that she respected his children. So it was a very emotional debate, and I'm sure the pundits are going to be examining and fact checking, for the next few days. So hopefully you'll have a good idea of what happened after the end of the day. So I want to also mention Hurricane Matthew, because even though he has moved on and he's up the coast now in North Carolina, the flooding there has been horrific. It was really, really dramatic. And of course, everyone's now returning to their homes, but there's a lot of cleanup to be done and a lot of people still being rescued from flooded properties. There were 15 people who were killed in the United States as a result of the hurricane, and of course in Haiti, over 1,000 now. And they're rebuilding their lives slowly. It's very, very tragic for them. So let's hope everybody gets back on their feet really quickly and everyone's okay. Now, in Turkey yesterday, there was a car bomb attack of soldiers in southeast Turkey. This is in the area that borders on Iran and Iraq. And they think the PKK are the terrorists that were responsible. That's who's being claimed to be responsible. But, there's so many different factions and terrorist groups in that area. It's why I report these stories in Turkey, because it's such a vital country that, on the border between so much activity with Syria, Iran, and Iraq. Now, just to move on from Turkey, in Georgia, there were elections over the weekend. I think I mentioned this to you. There were two parties competing. The current Georgia Dream Party actually won again. They got 50% of the vote, so they reestablished their power. The opposition party was the United National Movement, and it received about 26% of the vote, so didn't make the impact it wanted. They're talking that there might have been some irregularities, but this always seems to happen after these kinds of elections, and they're moving on. I mean, the interesting thing was both parties are very pro-Western. It was a previous Russian state. They're now pro-Western, and both parties want to move towards EU membership and also membership in NATO. So that's something that does unite the two parties. Now, in Germany, police over the weekend, they were on a huge manhunt for a 21-year-old Syrian refugee who they believed was about to start an attack of some sort or implement an attack. They went to his flat and found explosive materials. So they were on a hunt for him, and it went on all weekend. And just like a few minutes ago, I heard that they have actually arrested him. So he's under arrest, and I'm sure that they're now going to find out what happened and what his intentions were. And it's a good thing that they've got that at least a little bit more under control. It was quite difficult over the weekend. Everything was in lockdown in certain parts of this town of Knetz in Germany. And in Israel over the weekend, there was a shooting. A man who was known to the police, a Hamas follower, opened fire in Israel, in Jerusalem. 2 people were killed. He raced off in his car, was chased by the police, and killed himself. But these kinds of incidents happen often, and so I wanted to report on that so that you knew what was going on. Now, in Ethiopia, like many of the African countries, there have been anti-government protests for some time. And a few weeks ago, there was a stampede. 70, I think it was about 55 people died in a stampede after a celebration turned into a riot as people started to confront government. They started a government protest at this festival. So people started to stampede and many were killed. So the Ethiopian government now has decided to implement a 6-month state of emergency. And they feel that this is what they need to get their country back on its feet. But it's a really interesting situation in so many parts of the world that these kind of populist uprisings now are taking place, and anti-government demonstrations seem to be happening a lot. So that's in Ethiopia. Now, in South Africa, just to quickly report some good news. We talk a lot about sustainability and about the need for renewable energy to be used in practical ways. And what happened in South Africa is a small regional airport in a place called George, South Africa, has built an airport that's completely run by solar power. So this means that the escalators, the control deck, the ATM machines, everything is run by solar power, which is really cool. It's another example of that a business open to the public can be run purely on renewable energy. So that's in George, and I think it's a great step forward. Shows it can be done, and I'm excited about those kinds of innovations. So that's the news of the world. Now, I'd like to change gears a little bit and talk about something that I hope is of interest to you. It struck me because I think that as we get older and our contextual friendships start to change, our relationships shift, we start looking for friendships in other places and other ways. And there was an article written by a man called Travis Bradbury. He writes for Forbes magazine. And he wrote an article called 8 Ways to Get People to Like You Immediately. And I changed in my mind the title to sort of how to make friends with people immediately. Because I think, to be honest, we don't really care. I don't say we don't care that people would like us, but we're not so influenced by the way that they view us. So certainly that's the case for me. I do my best. I project a good, kind person to the world, and I just know that I am who I am, and that's what I offer. But he gives these ideas. So if you're looking to make new friends, and you find yourself in situations where you're meeting someone for the first time, or in a group, perhaps you're at an event or somewhere traveling, these are the tips he gives for making friends and getting them to feel comfortable with you. So the first thing is to practice active listening. Now, this is listening where instead of leaping in with your own solutions and your own answers to a conversation, you just let people talk first. And then, ask them questions if you like to get the conversation going. Like, tell me about your family, or, why did you move to this city? But then listen. And active listening is where you're not planning for the next thing that you're going to say, but listening to what they're saying, and then responding in context. So that's number 1. The second thing is to let the person that you're meeting do the talking first. You don't have to tell them everything about yourself to start. That will come later. But let them do some talking. Establish some trust, and just let them feel comfortable with you. Feel that you are, interested in what they have to say. And so, just let them take the lead. And that warmth will then, continue as you keep talking. Now, the third thing he talks about is to be genuine. Now, I think most women in our 60s are pretty transparent. We're honest with ourselves and with others. But there's a quality that we can encourage with just the way we talk to people, that we are, that we're open-minded, transparent, and we just know that we just give them the sense they can trust us. I don't know whether this is important to you. I just feel like these are useful suggestions. When you're meeting someone for the first time and quickly need to establish, a context, a relationship. Okay, the fourth thing that he suggests is to use body language. Speaking of body language, there's things you can do to make someone feel more relaxed. So you can use your hands when you're talking. You can be expressive. Don't keep your hands and your shoulders hunched and your arms crossed. Let relax. Talk to them. Look at them in the eye. Make contact and just feel natural. Or try to be yourself. Be authentic. And use an enthusiastic voice. Say things with a smile. It's important too. And then also remember their name. Now, I don't remember names very well. I'm a really bad rememberer of names. I have to do little tricks. But if you do forget someone's name often, here's what he suggests. First thing is to say the person's name or ask it as soon as you meet them. Like, so, this is Mary. Quickly say again, I'm sorry, what was your name again? And say it a second time. Get it? Hi, Mary. Say that name. Repeat it. And then if you forget, just don't hesitate to say, I'm really sorry, I've forgotten your name, and smile. And people, honestly, they don't mind. Just say, oh no, it's Mary. And great, nice to meet you. And then move on. But don't admit that you've had a senior moment or that you're forgetting things as you get older. Don't do that stereotype. Just say, no, I'm sorry, I just completely forgot your name. So it happens to everyone of all ages. And then finally, put away your phone. I'm always amazed. I was on a train yesterday and I was sitting in the train and I swear everybody had their phones in their hands open. It was just crazy. And there was no conversation. It was actually fortunate. I sat opposite a family that was from Wisconsin. So we were chatting the whole time and I was showing their little grandson, my pictures on my phone, and we were having fun chatting amongst ourselves. But that's, sometimes it's not so easy. But anyway, put down your phone. That's the next piece and final piece of advice. Now, on the subject of phones, I really do want to cover this really briefly, which is that it was announced today that Samsung is recalling or is actually stopping production of the new Galaxy Note 7. It also is having problems with exploding. Don't know whether it's battery or something else, but they've stopped the production. Now, I don't know whether there were some people who actually got a replacement Galaxy Note 7, but if you did, it would be best to take it back to your dealer and talk to them about this situation, because the news today is that Samsung has stopped production of their Galaxy Note 7. So we'll watch how that goes. Right, so I just that's it for the day. I hope that you had a great time listening to all this news. It's been quite a busy news day, and I hope that you leave your comments in the section below. If you have any thoughts about anything we've discussed, feel free to put it in the notes, and we'll have a conversation. And also, I would like you to invite your friends to join us for Mornings with 60andMe. Just go to 60andme.com/mornings, and then we can get the news first. So that's it. Oh, and I wanted to remind you, yesterday we had a beautiful scarf that we were going to find a home for. And I've chosen the name of the person who's going to receive this gift. Her name is Patricia Greeley. So Patricia, congratulations. I just send me your mailing address and I'll get it in the post to you. And I hope you wear it in happiness and good health. It's really pretty, and I just hope you enjoy it. So thank you. And thanks to everyone who left messages and notes. I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart for your support. So I do have a little question for you for today. And as we start a new week, maybe it's a perfect time to make some new friends and get out there and start conversations with strangers or people we meet, in an event or even in the shops. And that question for you today is, do you think that you find it easier or more difficult to start conversations with people now that you're a little older? Do you find it easier or more difficult to start conversations with people these days? Leave your comments in the section below. I'd love to know what you think, and we'll just start a conversation, have a chat. And I really do thank you again for being here. Have a great Monday, and I look forward to seeing you all back here tomorrow for Mornings with 60andMe. Bye for now.